Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and tonight I'm gonna play Dark, Darker, Darkest by Queen Games. And well, I received this copy together with this Kickstarter special just a few days ago. I had the occasion to play a few games to get a little familiar with the rules. And maybe you've seen my unboxing. And if you've seen that, then you know that I'm very excited about that game. I was really expecting a lot. And well, I'd say let's see if it was worth all the waiting and all the money. But actually, before we start, obviously I have to show you this wonderful box art a little closer. I think this is one of the greatest cover arts that I own. It's just so amazing. And I think the Kickstarter edition looks even better with this greenish color. It's just absolutely wonderful. Okay, so let's set up the game now. Okay, so the game is set, and well, just let's see quickly what we got here. These are the characters with their starting weapons, some special dice, some burn markers. This is the security code of the lab. We generated that randomly. We have here some cubes. We have here markers for the special abilities of the characters, a fire marker, an antidote marker, tons of miniatures, most of them zombies, a few extra creatures, some survivors. Over here we have the zombie tokens, and these are the markers that indicate that your character is entrapped. Here we have some item cards. We have creature cards, we got villain cards, and this is the multi-tracker. That's the name for this board. Okay. And then, of course, we've got the House of Dr. Mortimer. And I generated this also completely randomly. So the entrance tile is here. And well, to give you an overview, the goal of the game is we have to unlock the laboratory, and this is the code for the laboratory. Now, there are some doors, different doors inside the building. As you can see, all these locked markers here. And if you enter a room with such a marker, you can flip it, and then there will be, I can show you that on another marker here. So that's the marker if you enter the room and then you flip it. And then you see we got, like this here, two white symbols, for example. So, and that would mean then you can only open that lock if one of your survivors has items that also show two white symbols. So as you can see, each item comes with a special symbol. This is a yellow one, here we have that pink one, and so on. So a single survivor must have two items, each with a white symbol, to unlock that door. If he manages to do this, he will get that, well, that marker. And then, if he enters one of these corner locations that show this white symbol here, that's a symbol for this marker actually, then he can there, well, there is some kind of terminal for the security device and the security system. So you could then use that terminal and enter the code. So that means you would place that marker in here on one of these three spaces, and then you can either remove the symbols that are indicated on the marker or one single symbol of your choice. Okay, there are lots of markers that come with two symbols and a few, actually three markers that come with three symbols. The three markers have always to be in corner rooms. That's a rule. The others can be just randomly placed. And at the beginning of the game, when I generated this code, I've drawn 2 3 markers. No, that's wrong. I've drawn 1 3 marker and 2 2 markers. And afterwards, I've drawn more markers, shuffled them all together, and then placed them here on the board. So somewhere in here, we will find just the right markers to unlock this code. But it's also possible to use other markers, because you can remove one of these codes by allowing this darkness thread moving one space to the right. And if this track enters this number 5, you only have 1 round left. So that's a very high cost, a very high price that you have to pay if you cannot manage to get the right combination, to find the right combination with these symbols that are placed in the house. Okay, so that's what you need these locks for, and that's what you need the corner rooms for. Corner rooms also come with some special items, special abilities. Here you can refuel your weapons, for example. It's kind of a storage room for ammunition. This is the sprinkler system, where you can, well, extinguish the fire. And over here you can heal. And this room here is the lab. So that's where we want to go in the end. And you can see here some tiles come with these black borders and some don't, like these. So that's obviously a wall. You can simply move through these tiles, and there is also a line of sight. But you can obviously not move or see through walls. Furthermore, we have some cameras. The tiles that show these symbols here, they contain cameras. and the cameras are adjusted in a way that they cover the most area possible. So overall we have 4 cameras in the house. We got one here, and that one can see a lot actually. It sees through the whole floor down here. It can see through that narrow hallway, and it also sees the room where it actually is. So it sees through this whole area here. And then we got a second camera here, and this is not so bad. It just sees this room, and then it can see also through the hallway, and it sees that room here. These 2 cameras, well, they also see both these 3 rooms. So that one shows from here 1, 2, 3, and this camera sees that, this one, and that room. So the problem now, while we are starting in this room, we appear right on 2 cameras at the very beginning. So this is a pretty bad start. Okay, so let's take a closer look to the survivors now. So here, for example, we have now Nina Argento. And up here, these are her action points. That's the number of actions she can take during one round. And if she's done an action, you simply move the cube over here, and if there are no more cubes here, she's done. These are her life points, and as you can see, if a life point tracker goes down, if it enters the green stage, and by the way this number should be here, that's a misprint, so if she enters the green stage, then it would be on a 2, and that means that she loses one of these actions, and she can only do 2 actions per turn, and then here there's only 1 action left, and finally she would be dead. This is that indicates the number of dice she can use to free herself if she gets entrapped. This is their experience track. So, and basically when you kill creatures or zombies, or when you unlock doors, you will gain experience points. And you can use these points sometimes for to do special actions, but mostly you will use these points to gain additional special abilities. So, for example, if you got 4 special experience points, you can pay them to get this combat expert with knives, for example. Or this would be an eternal bandage. She's got a starting ability, this one, because she's a nurse, she can heal other characters for the cost of 1 action point. And she's got a combat knife as a starting weapon. And here we got Bunny Van Camp, and she is a raging cheerleader, and her starting ability is if she tries to help other survivors when they are entrapped, she rolls her dice extra, and she can re-roll the die. No, that's wrong. She rolls her die extra, and usually you need this symbol to free a survivor, but if she gets this symbol, she will also be successful. So that's a little specific, just wanted to tell you right now. And she starts with a chainsaw, and here you can see we got these black cubes here. So that's kind of ammunition. I mean, for chainsaw, it's gas, obviously. And she comes with, the chainsaw comes with 8 gas, you can see that here. So she can use this thing basically 8 times. Then here we have Bruce Romero, and his special ability is quite interesting. He can give away up to, I think up to 3 of his actions. Let's check that. Yeah, exactly. He can give away up to 3 action points to other survivors, or he can take up to 3 action points from other survivors. So, yeah, I guess from one other survivor. Yeah, actually, I think he can only interact with a single other survivor. But that's a pretty cool ability. And then he starts with a handgun, and he also starts with 8 ammunition. And our last character is Lucy Chang. And she's well, by the way, this guy is a retired bodyguard. And she's a college geek. And she has the ability, she can swap one of these security chips for 4 experience points with a new random security chip that is removed at the beginning. So that can be also a useful ability. And she's got the baseball bat, which is a very strong weapon. Okay. So I think we're ready to go now. And well, first let's take a look at this multi-tracker here. There's quite a lot going on here during the game. First of all, it's a very useful player aid, because you can see here these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these numbers actually guide you through the upkeep phase of a round. There are basically 2 phases. It's the upkeep phase, when the basically some game mechanics will happen, and then there is the action phase. That's when your heroes do their actions. So I would suggest we simply start a turn. This gray cube starts here on this red space, and the first thing we do during this turn is, because this is number 1, we move this cube. And this cube moves kind of like a circle. It goes up like this, moves down again, goes up again, moves down again. So what we do in this first round, we simply move up here. And what we got to do is, this is the event phase, and we got to spawn zombies during the event phase. So let's see how we can do this. First we remove all that stuff here, and then we take a 4-sided die and we take a 6-sided die. Roll them both, and then that should indicate us where the zombies will appear. And this is for the column, and that is for the row. So it's row number 3, column number 2. So this means that the zombies will show up here. Zombies can never show up in a locked room, so they won't be in here, but they will be in this hallway here. And now we simply take one of these zombie markers, and because we don't have any line of sight here, because line of sight only works, doesn't work diagonally, so we simply place that marker like this, and we don't know how many zombies there are, or if there are any special zombies or whatever. Okay, then we come to number 2, and what we got to do now is we have to build our groups of survivors in here, in these spaces, the way they are on the board. So now they are all together in one single room. So that means we place all the cubes in one single space. If they were in two rooms, we have to split them up. And the important point is now, the leftmost group here on this track is going first, and then the other one. And that can be very important during the game. You might see that later on. But for now, they're all in the same room, so we don't have to do anything here. They stay there. Now we come to number 3, and you can see this. This is the camera symbol. So now we have to do camera checks. And this is a pretty bad thing right now because, as I said, because we were quite unlucky at the beginning of the when we have built this house, we are right in line of sight of 2 cameras. So we have to check now for each camera, for each room that one of our survivors is inside. So in this case, it's only one room. We're all in one single room. So we have to do one check for each camera for that room. So altogether that's 2 checks. And you always use the number of dice equal to the numbers of your survivors, with a maximum of 4. If we roll that failure token, this is the failure token, then we have a problem. Then we have to roll the terror die, and we'll see what happens then. But that's always a bad thing. So, let's see. And yeah, that's a bad start. We rolled that failure token, so now we have to roll the terror die, and we'll see what happens. And this is a horde of zombies which appears. Okay, so we have to place now a zombie token in an adjacent room. So it could be one of these 5 tiles, but we are not allowed to place it in a locked room. So let's see. I guess I'm going to place it here. I don't want them to be together. I think it's better if we place that here. So we flip it because it's now in line of sight, and there are 4 zombies placed in that room. Normally there are different types of zombies, and you should use them for special abilities of the zombies, but I don't like that so much. So if I draw a zombie with a special ability, I simply place that marker on the board, and I think it looks better if there's just different zombies appearing here. So, but it's not so important. Okay. So we got now 4 zombies here in that room, and that happened because of the first camera check. And now we have to check for the second camera, and we roll again 4 die because we are 4 survivors. And again we rolled a failure, so again we have to roll the terror die 1 time. Oh gosh. Okay, so that's a pretty rough start. This means that creatures are activated. Creatures are not the same as zombies. Creatures are, well, usually some kind of strange beasts, like the zombie dog or a gorilla or whatever. But no zombies. Right now there is no creature on the board. So what happens instead is 2 hordes of zombies. And a horde of zombies are all zombies that are inside one room. 2 hordes of zombies will each move one room closer to the survivors. So that means this horde moves in here and they will then attack. And afterward, or well, basically at the same time, the other horde here will move into this room. And now they are in line of sight, so we flip it. And we got 5 zombies appearing here. This is really a very, very bad start. Oh gosh. Oh man. Okay. So now we have here a fight. The zombies will attack. And there are 4 zombies. So we take these 4 dice and simply roll them. Okay. So what do we have here? We have altogether 3 wounds, 1 double wound and a normal wound, and these are 2 entrapped markers. Okay, and now we can try to defend ourselves, and each survivor can roll 1 die, so we roll 4 die altogether, and these tokens here are the success tokens. And for each success token we roll, we can cancel one of these dice. So let's hope for the best here. And yeah, we were actually successful twice, which is pretty cool. And well, just to let you know, there are 2 success tokens on each dice. So the chances are not that bad. So we can cancel now 2 we can cancel now 2 attack dice, and I'm not absolutely sure what dice that will be. These entrapped markers are very dangerous because they take away your action points, and action points are important. I mean, if you cannot act in a situation like this where lots of zombies are, you don't have the opportunity to fight, to shoot your weapon, whatever, to use a knife, then you are really in trouble. And sometimes it might be better to take some wounds, maybe even the 2 wounds, than being entrapped. So now my decision is, do I want to cancel? Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take that 1 wound. That's not so bad. So the decision is now, do I want to cancel both of these entrapped markers and take these 3 wounds? Or am I going to cancel this double wound and only 1 entrapped marker? Okay, considering the fact that we have a nurse with us that can heal you for 1 action point, she can heal 1 wound for 1 action point, I think this is not so bad. I will cancel these 2 entrapped symbols, and instead I will take 3 wounds. And I can now freely choose which one takes how many wounds. And I will give 1 wound to Bonnie Van Camp, and another one to Bruce Romero, and then I guess the last one probably to Lucy Chang. It's interesting to know that Nina, the nurse, she can only heal other people, not herself. Okay. Well, actually, I think that's not so easy, because this is a heavy wound. So in a heavy wound means you have to remove 2 from the same person. So I will remove 2 from Bruce Romero. Yeah, the bodyguard. Okay. Okay, so that was now the effect of the second camera roll. Remember, with the first camera roll, we had to spawn more zombies. With the second camera roll, we had to activate these zombies. So now what we did now step 3, the camera phase. And now we come to step 4. and now we have to even spawn more zombies. So in step 1, you sometimes spawn zombies, sometimes there's a fire that will spread, and sometimes you simply move this darkness track here. In step 4, you will always spawn new zombies. So that's what we do now. Again, we use the 4-sided and the 6-sided die. And if we're rolling bad now, then we might end up in real big trouble. So let's hope for the best now. And that is a 2 and another 2. So that looks good. They are pretty far away. So let's see what that is. Well, actually, we won't see what that is because it's out on line of sight. They end up here. That's where these zombies are. So they don't affect us at the moment. Okay, the 5th step would be the zombification step. And that means under special circumstances you would get a virus token. And if you have 2 virus tokens, you will become slowly a zombie, which is really bad. But right now nobody has a virus token. Nobody was that badly bitten. So this must not concern us right now. Okay, finally we come to the action phase, and finally we can do something on our own, and for now that means basically attack these zombies. It's important to know, well, a basic action is of course moving, and you cannot leave a room if there is a creature or a zombie in that room. So it's and to avoid more attacks of the zombies after our action phase, it's definitely a good idea to kill some of them. And well, first I guess Okay, as I said, I mean, we are already pretty much in trouble. So I guess our worst fighter is actually Nina Argento with her knife. If you take a look at these weapon cards, you see here, this red symbol shows how many attack dice you can roll. And the knife can only roll 2 dice, while the chainsaw can roll 3 dice. The handgun can also roll 3 dice. And the baseball bat also 3 dice. This symbol here indicates the range. Of course, all the melee weapons have a range of 0, while the handgun has a range of 1. So you can fire in an adjacent room which is in line of sight. So no diagonally rooms. So I think what I'll do first is I will start actually with Lucy Chang. The baseball bat is, in my opinion, probably the strongest close combat weapon. It's even better than the chainsaw. The chainsaw has only limited ammo, and the baseball bat comes with this special ability here. So usually if you roll this success token, you kill a zombie. But if you roll the baseball bat and you roll this token here, which is a push away token, you kind of knock the zombie down. And then if in a later roll, no matter if by yourself or by another survivor, this symbol is rolled a second time, that zombie is killed. So this is a real effective weapon. So I say Lucy starts trying to beat these guys here. So she uses now her first action. Rolls 3 dice. And yeah, that wasn't that great. So first, what do we have here? This is a failure token. And a failure cancels another die. So we can choose which die will be cancelled. This is a retreat icon. That would allow us to move into an adjacent room of our choice. Which is not bad. But what we're going to use is this pushback icon, which in this special case will allow us to knock down a zombie. So we place it on the side, and if we roll a second one, that zombie would be killed. And then she uses her second action and rolls again 3 dice. Oh man, that's not good. So again, this is cancelled. This icon has no meaning in close combat. And we have another one of these, so now that zombie is killed. And we gain 1 experience point. And then she uses her third action, and she's doing pretty bad right now. Oh, come on, this is ridiculous. Okay, so that was just terrible. Well, basically nothing happens. By the way, if you roll 2 of these failure tokens, they can cancel each other. That's no problem. But there is no good for her if she... Well, she could actually retreat. Maybe it's not that stupid to do that, but no, I don't think so. I don't think at the moment she should do that. Okay. So, yeah, that was her action, and as I said, it was really bad. And now it's Bunny Van Camp, and she's going to use her chainsaw, and she has to use one of her ammo tokens and then 1 action points to roll 3 dice, and let's hope she is more successful. And yes, that's definitely a little better, but sadly we have again one of these failure tokens here, so that failure cancels that success, so there's only 1 success left, but at least she managed to kill another zombie. So she will gain 1 victory point. For each kill of a zombie, you will gain a victory point. Then second action, second ammunition token, she rolls again. And terrible roll. Third action, third ammo token, another roll. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so this failure token cancels this one, but that's a success. So at least she manages to kill a second zombie. Okay, actually we're rolling pretty bad. But okay. And now, yeah, I would suggest that well, we have to do something here. I think that Bruce Romero, he will start firing now his handgun. By the way, a very interesting point is you can choose in which order the actions of the survivors are done, as long as it's the survivors that are in the same room. So now, actually, I could do an action with Bunny Van Camp, and then with Lucy Chang, with Bruce Romero, and then again with Lucy Chang, and after that with Nina Argento. So I can do that in any order I want, as long as there are cubes here on the left side of the survivors. That's a pretty cool idea, actually. In this case, it's not so important, but there are some really interesting options here. So right now, it is Bruce Romero with his handgun, and he's gonna pay 1 ammunition token. That allows him also to roll 3 die, and this time he's gonna attack one of the zombies in this adjacent room. The handgun has a range of 1, so that's exactly in range. Yeah, that's okay. These two cancel each other, and that is a success. So he managed to kill 1 zombie, and that gives him 1 success, 1 experience point. Then he takes a second action, and his second piece of ammo rolls again. Well, and this time it wasn't successful. That is a push back symbol. So that one is cancelled by this, and that one would now push a zombie back 1 space into the adjacent room. But and because this guy is firing from here, it would hit him here, and he would then be pushed back in here. But because this room is locked and there's a wall, he's just kind of thrown onto that wall, and there is no additional effect then. Okay, his third action. He uses a 3rd cube. Rolls again 3 die. And yeah, that's okay. That's another hit. So until now he's okay. And now he can actually use his special ability. So this is this ability which allows him to take action cubes, up to 3 action cubes, from other survivors in the same room. So he now takes the 3 action cubes from Nina, because he's definitely a better fighter than Nina is with his handgun. He's better than Nina with his combat knife. And because this is a very difficult situation, and it's well, you can actually call it a critical situation right at the beginning, we should take all these 3 cubes and give him 3 additional actions. So let's see. He will fire again, use his handgun a second time, and then shoot. And yeah, that was no success at all. This thing would now give him an additional range. But in this case, that's not necessary, because they are in range. With the second action and another ammo, I can do another shot. And yeah, that's better. That's another hit. So I can shoot another one of these. And now it's my final action and my 6th piece of ammo already. So let's see. Yeah, that's okay. This one cancels that, and that's another hit. So I do another damage. So I managed to kill a few of these, and I forgot to do the experience here. Damn, I'm not sure now. That sucks. Okay, I'll do this at a later moment. I'll watch the video simply and then adjust the experience. Yeah. Okay. So right now I'm pretty much out of ammo. That's bad. But if we can open that room, we can reload in here. So that's always an option. Okay, so now we've all used our all our action cubes. Of course, you can also pass if you don't want to do an action. And now these cubes are placed here into this lower space, because now all cubes of the upper space, all survivors that were in this upper space together, have used their actions. So now they are simply placed down here. And now the creatures and the zombies are activated, and if there would be a fire, it would spread. But this is luckily not the case. But the zombies are activated. So right now, there is a single zombie here with the survivor, and this guy immediately attacks. This is what happens first. If there's a zombie in the same room as any survivor, they immediately attack. But this guy is not that terribly dangerous, I hope. You can only roll one die this time, because it's only a single zombie. And that means he tries to bite. Well, that is pretty dangerous, actually, because he could infect me now with a virus. And that is something that should not happen. But we can try to defend ourselves. And because, again, we are 4 people, we can roll 4 times for defense here. And yeah, we were twice successful. So in this case, we managed to defend the attack of this guy. And now this zombie here, now we come to the activation of other zombies. And the way that works is simply that all zombies in adjacent spaces are activated if they are able to get closer to the survivors. I hope that's the right way I explain it. So in this case, it's pretty simple. There is one zombie adjacent, and he is now simply activated. And if these zombies are activated, they will always get 2 movement points. So this guy now moves in here, and he then attacks. Obviously, he needs only 1 movement point to get there. And he then attacks also my group of survivors. And again, he rolls 1 die. And that is a wound. And now we can again try to defend ourselves with 4 dice. And again, we were pretty successful this time. Well, I wish we managed to fight earlier on like this, but okay, at least something. So there is no harm done by these 2 zombies. Okay. And this is now the end of the action phase. You do your actions first, and then after a group of survivors has done their actions, the creatures and zombies activate and the fire spreads. If there was now another survivor somewhere else in the building and there was another block here, then he could do now his actions, and afterward we had to again activate creatures and zombies which were adjacent to that specific survivor. But because there was only one group of survivors, there is not much activation of the zombies. So it's always a little safer to stay together. There's not so much reaction from the game if you stay together, but obviously you cannot cover that many rooms. So yeah, that's a decision you have to do. Okay, I think that was a pretty rough first round, actually. The problem is that we are still in line of sight of these 2 cameras, which is really dangerous. And until now, we've won basically nothing except for some experience. And that is not the goal of the game. I mean, usually this is a lost turn. If you simply have to defend yourself against all these guys, this is not what you want to do. And this is normally not what happens. So that was a pretty rough start. Our goal must be to get here, open that door, and then try to get some ammo here. Maybe open that door, take a look what is inside here, search the rooms, and so on, all that stuff. But this is something we might do in the next video. Until then, bye.